Hello everybody, my name is Jim Stefanko and this is episode 21 of the Wolves Fan Review. As you can tell by the intro video, I am on the road this weekend, and last night the Sudbury Wolves played in Owen Sound to face the Attack. We've got a lot of stuff to get through today, so we're going to hop right into it. 2 minutes into the game, the Attack find themselves in the Sudbury zone. Player picks it up down low at the bottom of the circle. Marshall Frappy, it looks like he's screened down front. Owen Sound Attack player rips the puck. Goal, 1-0. And in the minutes following that goal, Owen Sound was making it very clear as to why they're close to the top of the conference. Every single pass they make is visualized and executed. And at the 6-minute mark into the first period, Michael Bozzetta tries to get his team fired up and he drops the gloves with the Attack captain. Bozzetta is landing some huge shots. A couple good ones land and the Attack captain just kind of crinkles a little bit. But he stayed on his feet and stayed engaged too. The linesman tried to move in to break up the fight, and with his free hand, the Attack captain flagged him off. Then he got a couple sick blows in on Bozzetta. Then Bozzetta landed the final few and took him down to the ice. 8 minutes left in the period. Former Sudbury Wolves player Alan Lazarchuk is on the ice. The puck comes to him all alone in front of the net, but it just hops over his stick. With 7 minutes left, the Attack enter the Sudbury zone. They set it up with a tic-tac toe, wide open net, 2-0 Owen Sound. 6 minutes left, Kyle Rhodes says he's had enough of this. Walks down the right-hand wing and snipes it in, 2-1. 5 minutes left. Owen Sound walks over the Sudbury blue line, fires a slap shot off the back glass. It comes back out front and an Attack player's there to bang it in. Owen Sound is up 3-1. A very common event in this game. As soon as we get a little bit of momentum, Owen Sound just says, none of that. 2 minutes into the second period, the Owen Sound Attack keep up with their crisp, perfect passing. Once again, they go tic-tac-toe, roof, goal. That makes it 4-1 for Owen Sound. And at this point, the cowbell is retired. Just for that game. There are plenty of people in Guelph to annoy. About 9 minutes into the second period, Pilo picks off a clearing attempt along the boards. He takes it towards the net, takes a shot on goal. It's saved by the goalie, but it squeaks out to the left-hand side of the net. The other Pilo has a wide open look at it, and he puts it off the side of the net. And from about the 11-minute mark to the end of the second period, Owen Sound continued to show off their overall skill and pretty much went on another 5-on-5 power play for the rest of the period. The third period gets underway and we finally come out with some jump. 49 seconds in, Darian Pilon gets sprung on a breakaway. I think he's had 3 previous chances this year, but he makes this one count. 4-2. And a minute and a half into the third period, Owen Sound takes a penalty. Remember how I said they have a good habit of taking all our momentum away? Short-handed, Owen Sound breaks into the Sudbury zone. They got 2 guys deep, takes a shot on net, gets the rebound, bangs it in, 5-2. But 5 minutes in, the Attack take another penalty, and this time we make them pay. Puck comes back to Candell at the point, walks into the top of the circle, lets it go, goal. 5-3. But the momentum-sucking Owen Sound attack come into the Sudbury zone. Pass, pass, pass. Goal, 6-3. And with a few minutes left, they put in another one. Final score, 7-3 Owen Sound. The only bright spot in this game that I could see, and it doesn't really seem like it because there were 7 goals against, but Marshall Frappier played a heck of a game. Owen Sound doubled up our shots, 40-something to 20-something, and a high percentage of those were good quality scoring chances. Other than that, but after the game, I got to see my buddy Alan Lazarchuk. He's having a great year in Owen Sound, and I wish him nothing but the best going forward. So that's it for episode 21. Onward to Guelph! This was another tough one for the boys tonight. Give me directions to Sudbury, Ontario.
This internet connection isn't strong enough at the moment.
Today, the Sudbury Wolves played our third game of our back-to-back-to-back weekend against the Guelph Storm. And unfortunately, the result wasn't much different than the first 2 games. We're going to kick off this game 4 minutes into the first period where the Guelph Storm take a penalty. And same story as before, unfortunately. I don't believe we got any shots or chances on that one. And I know with so many new guys on this team, it's been probably really difficult to actually develop any kind of chemistry with the team. And in my opinion, there's definitely a difference between locker room chemistry and actual chemistry on the ice. When we're out there and we can't seem to hit 2 passes in a row for pretty much the entire game, it makes it very clear that something is just not working out there. And also, it was really surprising for me to see Marshall Frappier start this game as well. After getting lit up with 7 goals against in the game last night against Owen Sound, just doesn't really make sense to put him back in. But with all that being said, clearly I'm not a coach, and that's just my perspective. Nothing really happens in either direction, and we're tied 0-0 after 1. Now, I think it was about 2.5 minutes into the second period, where with some good pressure right from the beginning of the period, Guelph is in our zone. Guelph has the puck down in the corner. They dish it out to one of their many massive humans out front. Guelph player dangles around one of our defensemen, gives a couple more little dekes on Frappier, and he puts it in the net. It is 1-0 Guelph. And it's at this point that I realize that Kyle Rhodes isn't even on the ice or the bench anymore. The only thing I can think of is he was in a collision earlier in the first period, and that might be the cause of him not being there. So a few minutes after the first goal, Baker hauls down a member of the Storm and they go crashing into the goalpost. Guelph Storm to the power play. Guelph's moving it around nicely, and eventually it makes its way to a wide open player at the side of the net, and he's got a wide open net, pops it in, 2-0 Guelph. A few minutes later, the Guelph Storm take a penalty, which, by the way, there were a whole bunch of very questionable calls against Guelph in this one. On the power play, we get the puck back at the point. We try to make a pass from D to D. It gets picked off, and the Guelph Storm head out on a breakaway. The Storm player makes a couple dekes on Frappier, opens his legs and slides it through the 5-hole. 3-0 Guelph. And once again, the Guelph Storm take another penalty, and then take another penalty, and we have a 5-on-3 opportunity. Sokolov and Candela play pass at the point. Eventually, one of them spots Carson down low, passes it over, and he bangs it in. We're 3-1. I really think we need a rework of our power play also. The only move we got is pass back and forth from the other D to Sokolov. which is a sweet play because Sokolov has a rocket and it does work, but it doesn't work all the time. And we act like it does work all the time. Now, off a draw in the Sudbury zone, Frappier was kinda out of position and a backhand squeaks through his arms. With another one in the Guelph column, that's 4-1. Geez, thank God I bought a new cowbell. Getting lots of work this weekend. And with a few minutes left, now it's Guelph's turn for a 5-on-3. We take a holding penalty and then a slashing penalty. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks on this one. 5-1 Guelph. That's how we end the second period. Now, as we were on our walk during the second intermission, we happened to see Kyle Rhodes with a sling around his arm, which is almost the worst case scenario. The only notable thing that happened in the third period is that we saw Jake McGrath get the start. My opinion is that is too little, too late. What's the point? And I apologize for that dumb cord in the way the whole time. And that being said, I am really happy I made this trip. I can't remember the last time I came to Southern Ontario by myself. It was nice to check out a few new cities. I had never driven through Collingwood and Blue Mountain on my way to Owen Sound. This is my second time in Guelph, and this time around it was even nicer than the first. It's a beautiful city. And the fans in both cities were great too. Definitely got an earful of chirps in both cities. In Owen Sound, "Hey, can I borrow that cowbell if you're not gonna use it?" Then in Guelph, there's me yelling to our team, "What are you doing?" And a couple rows below me, I hear, "Losing." Touche, Guelph fan, touche. Again, I expected it. I love it. That's a hockey game. So as it sits right now, I have another 382 kilometers and 3 hours and 35 minutes back to Sudbury. I am gonna turn on some tunes, grab a coffee and a Red Bull whenever I can, and keep this trek going. So everyone, thank you very much for joining me on this trip in these past 2 games. I'd like to say a big thanks to my buddy Ethan, who lives in Owen Sound and came with me to the game on Saturday, and to my very good friends Yannick and Sarah from Stouffville, originally from Sudbury, who gave me a place to stay on Saturday night and joined me at the Guelph game today. The Sudbury Wolves' next game is this upcoming Thursday against the Barrie Colts in Barrie. We get a little shot at redemption for that overtime loss this past Friday. So everyone, a very big thank you for watching today. My name is Jim Stefanko. This was episodes 21 and 22 of the Wolves Fan Review. We'll see you again after game 23.
I can't remember.